everybody, and welcome to episode 87 of the Let's Play world. So to start off today, I want to head over towards the city, and I want to show you the work I've done on the Empire State Building over here. And as it comes into frame, you'll see it's basically done up to the point. I still need to line it so that we can't see through it, and we still need to put that point on top. But otherwise, this building has got 4 sides on it. So one thing I want to do today is get to work on that point on top of our building. And then the other thing I want to do in the city is a little bit more work on the layout of our roads. Right now we've got a few roads laid out here, but I want to expand this so that we can get an idea of how big the city is going to be and how many buildings we need to put in this space. And the third thing I want to do today is get to work on the next section of our zoo. So we've got our cave section, we've got our forest section, and the next section I want to install will be right here. But first things first, we're going to grab a bunch of gray blocks, head to the top of the Empire State Building, and get to work on that spire. The thing that's always so difficult about this is figuring out the scale. You know, from up here, it's hard to tell how tall this should be or how wide, that kind of thing. So we're going to build something and then we'll fly away and look at it. Then we'll build some more. Then we'll fly away and look at it again. And we'll just do that over and over until we get it. So at the bottom of the spire, the Empire State Building has like a little base or a foundation. So we're going to replicate that first, and then we'll figure out how wide the spire should be. The actual Empire State Building has a very Art Deco design, and I'm not sure if we'll be able to capture that amount of detail up here, but we'll see what we can do. So as far as height, I think we're looking real good. It's looking a little flat, so I might try to change some of these blocks up a little bit. So here you can see I'm adding a little bit of detail on the sides and trying to change up the corners a little bit. I think this is going to be a good width. The tricky part is going to be the fins. I'm not sure how that's going to look, but we'll give it a shot. Stepping back here and taking a look at it, it is a little bit too pointy right now, and I think part of that is the gray in the andesite and the gray in the stone is too similar. So the spire and the fins are all kind of mixing together. So I might trade out the andesite for diorite here to see if that actually sits a little better. And then I'm thinking it needs to be about this tall. That's the other thing to figure out, is how tall am I going to make this thing go? So looking at the diorite next to the gray blocks, I think it looks a lot better. It's not nearly as white as you think it's going to be. The forced perspective sort of makes it sit really nice with the stone. I think it needs to be taller. You know, I was standing up here and I was like, that seems pretty tall, but I think it's not quite the right scale. I think we just need to come up a little bit further. So I want to show you up close what I've done here. So above the sandstone, we turn into andesite first, and there's a mix of both the polished and normal andesite. I use some fences and some stairs to give it a little bit of detail. And then once we get up a little bit higher, it switches to stone and diorite. And you can see the fins here are made of diorite, and then the center column is stone and stone walls alternating all the way to the top. And then there's some stone stairs, and then a spire of stone and andesite. And when you get some distance between you and the building, it actually looks pretty convincing. You know, I've said all along that we're not doing scale replicas of the building. We're just trying to capture the style and some of the design cues of the buildings, and I think we did a really good job on this one. The fins were a little bit tricky, but they translate pretty well from this distance, and the same with the texture and the column. I was afraid that was going to look a little weird, but it actually looks quite good. We can take Empire State Building off the wall of tasks. So next up, we're going to expand our road system. Right now, we've got a few blocks laid out, but we have a lot of space over here that I also want to take advantage of. And so I want to extend some of the existing roads and figure out how we're going to lay this all out. do a quick update on our map here. Okay. This guy here. One here. Very, very nice. Added a little bit more to the grid. I think we're actually going to save some of the water here. We might do a park or something like that. And then this area down here, I actually have a plan for that. I really like how we have this one big street that goes all the way from the zoo, all the way across the entire city. And we still have a ton of room where we can do a lot more. So last thing we're going to do today is start on our next section of the zoo. And the next section I want to work on is the ocean section. I imagine the ocean section is going to be a lot of aquariums, you know, things like dolphins and fish and stuff like that. The turtles, there might be just a kind of traditional enclosure. And I don't know yet if I want the guardians to be in the hostile part or in the ocean part. Some of the ocean mobs are going to be pretty tricky, you know, things like dolphins or squids. They don't last very long once they get out of water, so transporting those is definitely going to be a trick. The ocean exhibits are just going to jog off to the right here, and I think we'll just dig right into the side of this hill. And there we have the entrance to our ocean area. And in here, we're going to end up with cod and tropical fish and turtles and pufferfish and salmon and squid and dolphins and maybe guardians. We'll see. But that's going to wait for another episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you had fun. Please like and subscribe if you want to follow along on the adventure. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.